Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Thank you, Sharon, and it is race time. We already got to see some Daytona stuff. If you watched practice, they had that this morning. I watched it already, so I am getting pumped up.
Yes, indeed. And tonight is qualifying on Wednesday night. Tomorrow will be the duels. So we're going to do a quick hit here for the Daytona qualifying and duels preview, just so that everybody's aware of how that's going to go down. And then we'll get into our regular previews for the Truck Series, the ARCA Menard Series, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and the Cup Series. So for the Daytona 500. But this particular episode is going to be on the qualifying and duels preview. So with that, Jay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and give the details of the times of when everything's starting. Tonight, Wednesday, February the 11th, practice has already taken place for the NASCAR Cup Series. And then qualifying is going to take place at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight for the NASCAR Cup Series. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And then on Thursday, February the 12th, is the duels. There's going to be a practice tomorrow for the Cup Series on Fox Sports 1 at 5 p.m. Eastern time. But the duels at Daytona will be at 7 p.m. That's when they start. And that will be on FS1, MRN, and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. We're going to go over why this is the only race of the year that they do a qualifying session, a dual session, kind of a heat, if you will, for the remainder of the lineup. And basically, the qualifying only sets the front row, the number one and number two drivers, right?
Yeah, and this year, well, since the charters came into play, actually, so you're right, the only two that are locked into the starting positions are the front row, first and second. Everybody else will run the duels. The chartered teams are locked in, but the duels set the starting lineup. The one change this year, if you follow Bob Pockris, he broke it down and explained this. I know I saw several tweets from him on this. This year, the non-charter teams, two of them will also guaranteed lock in via their time trials. They don't fall back on them. They are just locked in. So then during the duels, one from each duel of the non-chartered teams will be racing their way in. In past years, it's been possibly two. If that one that was fast didn't make it in, they'd fall back on their time. That's changed this year. If they set the top two fastest times of the non-chartered, they are locked in. They don't have to fall back on it.
Right. And also Jimmy Johnson, who is a past champion, has a provisional. If he does not race his way into the Daytona 500, he's still guaranteed a spot.
That one actually, Sharon, is also a change from last year, that once he was granted that position, he is not trying to race his way in. He is locked in. He does get to start wherever he qualifies, but he also does not affect any of the other open spots.
Right. Right. So those are a couple of points that you need to know. Tonight in qualifying, we'll establish who the pole winner is and who the second place driver is. Tomorrow, when they run the duels, they will line up according to how they qualified on Wednesday. So the odd number teams and the even number teams will run. And then we do have a few storylines that we can cover. Do you want to start us off there, Jay?
Yeah, there's some interesting things here when you look at it. Chase Briscoe in 2025 won the Daytona 500 pole. That was the first Toyota pole for the Daytona 500.
And then Hendrick Motorsports won the pole in 8 of the last 11 Daytona 500s, but failed to win in all 8 years. So that's pretty amazing.
It is, and I know they've kind of changed their philosophy, as Hendrick has won 16 poles, which is 10 more than any other organization. But now they're trying to focus more on, they said that pole is cool, but it doesn't get you the win.
Exactly. The pole winner has finished 14th or worst, in fact, in 9 of the last 11 Daytona 500 races. So winning the pole is not necessarily a good thing at Daytona.
It is not, as the pole winner has failed to finish due to accidents in 4 of the last 7 Daytona 500s.
And Alex Bowman has 3 Daytona 500 poles. The record is 4, and drivers that have hit that number are Elliott, Baker, and Yarborough.
And still with Alex Bowman, with those, his 6 front row starting spots in the Daytona 500 is the most all time.
Yeah, he's Mr. Front Row at Daytona. All right. Now, the Daytona 500 winner has started 10th or worst in 6 of the last 8 races. So there you go. 10th or worse are the winners.
Now, yeah, that's well, and it is Daytona, super speedway racing. We know that's kind of the norm, if you will. Now, when we look at drafting tracks as a whole, Ford has won the pole for 13 of the 20 drafting track races with the qualifying in this next-gen car. So Ford is kind of the one to watch when it comes to qualifying.
Yes. And then I've got a list of drivers here. Gibbs, Heim, Hocevar, Gilliland, Chandler Smith, and Zilich weren't born the last time the Daytona 500 was won from the pole. And that year was 2000 when Dale Jarrett won from the pole. So it doesn't happen very often.
And we aren't quite at the maximum for cars entered into the Daytona 500. And it goes back to 2015 when there were 49. We have 45 this year as we did last year. So we're towards the top end, but not the highest we've seen since 2015.
Right. Okay, so I think that's really all we need to go over with regard to the qualifying and the duels. I do want to give you, again, the times for the duels and when that's going to happen and give you a little bit more information here. The next race tomorrow night, that's Thursday night, is the America 250 Florida Duel at Daytona International Speedway. It's a 2.5 mile asphalt oval, and that race will be Thursday, February the 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Duel 1 on Fox Sports 1, and then 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time for Duel 2. You'll also find that there's coverage on MRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Channel 90. The distance for each duel is 150 miles or 60 laps. So that's important for you to know. Now, if you're watching qualifying on Wednesday, again, that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1. And MRN and SiriusXM will have that coverage as well.
And here at the bottom of our notes, this is just how to make the Daytona 500 field, which will be 41 cars. Again, it's the 36 chartered cars. Those are locked into the race. The orders will be determined. The fastest 2 open cars, non-chartered teams from qualifying, and then 1 open car from each duel not already in. And then, as Sharon mentioned, Jimmy Johnson is going to use the open exemption provisional, which guarantees him a spot extending the field to 41 cars. And I think you had this right, Sharon. Front row set during qualifying, positions 3 through 41 from the duels. The Duel 1 will be the inside row, and Duel 2 will be the outside row.
Okay. So there you go.
And it may seem complicated. It's really kind of is, but it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. It's the only race of the year that we do it this way, which makes it a little bit confusing. But it's part of the pomp and circumstances, if you will, of the Daytona 500. So
it is, yeah, it is. Again, they consider this their Super Bowl. I know a lot of sports do their the championship game. It's called the Super Bowl, but they kind of start out with their biggest race of the year. I know there's always that discussion. What's more important, winning the Daytona 500 or winning a championship? it's a pretty tight battle as far as which is more important, because that is what our sport is about.
Yes, indeed. Okay, this has been the Daytona qualifying and duels preview for the NASCAR Cup Series. We are going to have more coming up. Next, Jay and I are going to do the Truck Series preview. They race on Friday night. On Saturday, we have Series racing, and then the O'Reilly Auto Parts will be racing on Saturday. Sunday is the Daytona 500. So 4 races this weekend. So we're going to do the Truck Series next and continue on until we get through the Daytona 500. So thank you very much for tuning in. Again, this was just a quick hit so that you understand how the qualifying and duels work and why they're part of the Daytona 500 process. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I was just say we wanted to get these done so we can kick back and watch the qualifying tonight and then the duels tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so with that, I think we're done, and we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you in the next video.